Brady and the Fiend here. God damn it. We're here to talk about...
Imagine a growler.
Charlie, by the way, we're going to kick this off. I have one student, she's really into rock music, like more old school rock, and we were talking about pop song covers. So I played her the I Prevail cover of Blank Space.
Okay.
She loved it.
Nice.
7th grader. She's like, this is so good. I was like, see? And then I played the almost all the way through the Issues boyfriend cover, but they had that little end where they dropped the F-bomb at the end, so I had to cut it off. It's like, can't play that part, F-bomb. Nathan Chill says, woo! I agree.
Woo!
Woo! Sorry.
What a show, boys.
It was a really good show. All right, so let's talk SmackDown Live. So, sorry, it's not SmackDown Live anymore, just SmackDown, right?
Friday Night SmackDown, bye-bye.
WWE SmackDown, as I was listing up on my...
First thing we got to mention, third show this week, third new stage.
Yep, so...
What'd you think of it?
I liked it. I thought it was... I mean, it's one of those things... So with WWE, I mean, they stick with the same stuff for so long that any little change, I think, is going to be welcome. It's rare that WWE... Like, remember how much we nerded out, like, 2 years ago when WWE had the... when they put the stage up on the ramp, and that was such a new thing, and Raw had the commentary booth up on the ramp, and we're like, dude, this is the coolest thing they've ever done.
Yeah, it's nice to have little change-ups, man.
Just little things. Pyro coming back. Listen, I know it's a small thing and no one really cares about Pyro, but I care about Pyro. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool addition. Make sure we have it. It costs some money, but I feel like Vince realizes now he's in a competition, and even though AEW is not really that much on his heels, he wants to really kind of put him in the dirt, which I like. What do you think?
Competition is going to fuel all 4 shows, including NXT. And it's going to really fuel them all. And better wrestling, it makes us all happier, and it makes it fun to do these shows.
Yeah, so a little bit of news stuff. WWE released a statement via Ryan Satin, basically saying, congrats AEW on a good show. This is great for wrestling fans. I thought this was such a smart move on their part because if you're AEW, you want it to be a war, right? You want the Wednesday night war.
Absolutely.
But if you're WWE, you want them to look like the little guy and be like, no, we're all in this together, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it does bring more hype.
Pyro as well.
Yeah, it does bring more hype. That's what I'm saying. Like, the difference when Brock Lesnar comes out between slamming his hands down and slamming his hands down with Pyro is huge. Also, big sack for UCF. UCF is currently ongoing, people, so as you can see, and trust me, this is not something that just got hung up recently. This was hung up pre-national champion stuff. I've had this blanket for a long time, so the team's currently on against Cincinnati.
We were there for the 0-12 season. We were there for the
in a bit of a dogfight. Yeah, so it's there. Jeff Godfrey. Charlie, do you even remember the Jeff Godfrey era?
I do. I remember sitting in that game when we were against Marshall, sitting in the rain.
Dude, the Marshall Monsoon. People still talk about it, man.
It was even the American Conference.
It was kind of awesome. That game was kind of fun. Turned out fun. All right, so anyway, Charlie, we kicked off SmackDown. We knew it was going to be a big show. First show on Fox. We have been seeing Fox really pumping up WWE, which I think is kind of cool. Just the overall spectrum. Let's talk about wrestling really quick. So in the regular world, it seems like it seems like wrestling is this big taboo thing, right? And then when you tell people that you watch wrestling, generally either you just don't tell them because you're afraid of what they'll say, or you feel like you have to explain yourself as to why you watch wrestling. And not saying you, but I know me, this is what I personally have to do. And it's so funny because wrestling is super popular across the world. So why is it still seen as a taboo thing when so many millions of people watch it on a regular basis? 2.2 million, I think, total people watched Wednesday night NXT and AEW combined. I mean, that's huge, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone and their cousin knew Fox was debuting wrestling tonight. And they did such a good job getting the word of mouth out there.
I like how Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful tweeted out, it's the ultimate karma that Colin Coward for Fox, who's been bad-mouthing WWE for like 15 years, was forced by Fox to interview WWE talent for the upcoming show. That's just great. So Nathan says, yeah, I know what you're saying. Down here in the South, it's really bad. People mock you for it. Yeah, I agree. We're Charlie and I are both in Florida, so I know we're not technically, considered the South. I was talking to Mike about this earlier. We're kind of the north of the South. So, it's a little odd like that, but I don't know. It's just so weird how it's seen as taboo and people like wrestling's lame, but yet it's like if everyone thinks it sucks, then why is it so popular? But whatever. We start out, Becky Lynch coming out. Baron Corbin comes out looking like the Burger King, as was coined by our third person that came out for this opening segment, The Rock.
Rocky.
We knew, oh my God. Oh, I dropped it. We knew that The Rock was going to be on SmackDown, and I think WWE did the right choice because people are not going to sit around and wait for The Rock. I think that they would have gone the route of, hey guys, welcome to SmackDown. Here's Becky Lynch and, someone else, and The Rock will be here tonight, so stay tuned. I feel like the longer you tell people to wait around, they're going to be like, never mind, do I really care about The Rock that much to stick it out? Putting it right on the beginning of the show was the way to go. Came out, buried Baron Corbin. Let's be honest, dude can't be buried anymore with the diehard fans anyway. They all hate him. They all like Becky. They all like The Rock. I thought Corbin was the perfect person to get the brunt of the joke. And are you behind the STD chants for Corbin?
I am. Corbin's one of the best heels right now. And he gets the most heat, so to send him out there, it's probably going to do him well for going forward, to be honest.
Oh, I 100% agree. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Deep throw. What the hell? Okay.
It's a mess right now, man.
Yeah, the team is, what is it, a holding penalty or something? I don't even want to look. You know what? False start. Great. So, basically, The Rock came out, and The Rock had to be on this show, right, Charlie? I mean, he coined the term Smackdown.
Yeah, this is a very fitting show for him to return.
And it was great, people's elbow, rock bottom, Rock hits all the stuff. People were thinking Rock was going to make his return to wrestling or whatever. He's not coming back to wrestling, but this is always going to be his home, and it was nice to see Rock. So this led into Becky Lynch and Charlotte versus the Boss and Hug Connection, still a stupid name, Sasha and Bayley. This match, I'll be honest, I wasn't paying too close attention to. Did you have any notes, anything in particular that stuck out to you about the match? I will say that
I think they looked good, and it was a good sign putting the Four Horsewomen out there.
That's true.
As your first match on Fox, and I think it confirms my little theory I've kind of developed in my head that Becky's going to be the first pick in the draft. I just see it.
I think they should do that. I think they should do it that way. I think WWE, once again, if we're talking WWE, AEW, how to look good in the public eye and everything, I think putting the women foremost, especially with their past. I mean, Linda McMahon is on Donald Trump's cabinet and stuff like that. I think being in the good graces of everyone, regardless of if you're red or blue or race or whatever, I think that that's important for WWE to try to cover all their bases. And I think it was important that they gave Charlotte the submission. And instead of Becky, they let Charlotte get the win. Do you think that's important or no?
Yeah, because Charlotte is going to be booked as theoretically one of the bigger ones going forward, right? And they want...
I think so.
They really want Charlotte and Becky to be the main two, so I'm okay with it.
Shinsuke Nakamura starts to come out, and then we cut to commercial. And Cage Side Seats, I'm literally reading their breakdown to make sure that I have the right order of things. They write, back from commercial, noted racist Hulk Hogan is walking through the crowd when he greets Ric Flair.
God damn
it. Cage Side Seats, come on, man. Someone's triggered. But, I mean, it's true. So, Shinsuke ends up facing Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wins very quickly by disqualification. Via the Fiend is here. So we know that the Fiend is facing Seth Rollins. It seems like they are not marketing this match as Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. Instead, they are marketing it as The Fiend versus Seth Rollins. Do you think that's the right way to go?
Yeah, the Fiend is the guy that Raw needs to hook its wagon to, if you will.
Yep.
Because I don't see the Fiend going on SmackDown. I just
No.
see the Fiend being the guy that's carrying Raw going forward. Speaking of Hell in a Cell, there's only 3 announced matches for it in the show.
Yeah, it's very weird. I don't know what they plan on doing because they wanted to make this season premiere of Raw and this first SmackDown on Fox. They wanted to make these such big events that it's like they forgot about their own pay-per-view when it's in 2 days. Dude, why not just... I feel like, what if they threw on like an Iron Man match between 2 fan favorites? Like, who would say no between like a... God, I don't know who doesn't have matches right now, but like 2 really good workers.
I know what you're saying.
Like, who would be against
like
just
an AJ Styles Ricochet or something?
Yeah, who would be against it? Just Ricochet coming out and being like, I want a match, and Mustafa Ali showing up and being like, let's go. And just let Ricochet and Mustafa go for an hour.
New Japan would coin it as like a special match, like a specials exhibition match, and it'd be kind of cool.
Sorry, drinking my my Pepsi Zero Sugar Max Taste. Is that what Pepsi did, Charlie? Did they go Pepsi to Diet Pepsi, and now it was Pepsi Max, and then it was Pepsi Zero. Now it's Pepsi Zero Sugar, but they still put Max Taste on the top. They just best of everything.
Pretty much, they got to gimmick it.
They got it. They know the gimmick. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. We both were in love with this match. The match literally lasted, I'd say, maybe 10 minutes. Like,
yeah, man, this was
maybe
something.
It was a absolute sprint. So this is like literally 3 paragraphs long of a breakdown from Cage Side Seats, and they put everything in there. It just starts. Shane McMahon is on the entrance. Kevin Owens, as he's getting announced, goes after Shane McMahon, chucks into some stairs. Shane hits him with a baseball slide, and then Shane gets a ladder shot. So Shane beats Kevin up. Kevin beats Shane up. Shane gets the upper hand again, hits the coast to coast on Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens ends up grabbing him halfway through the ladder, hitting him with a power bomb onto a ladder. Shane McMahon is slump. Kevin Owens grabs the briefcase, and because he won, it was listed as a career versus career.
This was just fast, fun as hell, and one of my favorite 10-minute matches ever.
And Kevin Owens might be the first McMahon to get to say you're fired.
He might.
I don't remember.
Yeah, no, he might.
I mean, did William Regal ever get to fire anyone? Maybe Eric Bischoff back in the day might have fired someone. I don't remember anyone other than a McMahon saying you're fired. That kind of has gotten to be their line. I think this shows WWE with Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt, some of these guys that have been solid for so long, I feel like WWE always tries to keep them around because they never know when they're going to need them. It's like Randy Orton. They're always involved somehow, but they're not always the top guys. But if WWE needs to call on them for something, they're there.
Yeah. So Bucks fan in the comments says, where was Stone Cold and Sting? There's multiple people advertised that weren't there. So,
yeah, very odd. I'm going to see WWE's statement on that because, they were advertised. Now, was it advertised by WWE or was it advertised by the venue?
They were being ran as Stone Cold was there, Sting, Undertaker. So I don't know. I'm thinking stuff must have happened. I'm sure we'll find out throughout the week what went down.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wyatt says, "I feel so proud of myself. I called that Brock match exactly before it happened."
Jesus, we're gonna get to the Brock match in just a second, guys, because I really can't wait to talk about this. But we got one thing to go to. Well, actually, technically we got 2 matches to go to before this, but we can go through this really quick. So Charlie, I'm not a boxing fan, but I know who Tyson Fury is.
It's a big name. Great,
champion boxer, heavyweight, just a pretty decent looking guy. Looks like a mountain. He was shown as in attendance, and usually like with NXT, if they show people, they're like they're meant to be wrestling. But with WWE, with the main roster, Raw and SmackDown, a lot of times it's just, oh, here's some famous people in the crowd. They're checking it out just to try to make themselves look big. But we saw Braun Strowman kind of puff up a little bit towards Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury, they had him jump the barricade and get pushed back by security. This was a very, oh my God.
Yep. It was pretty crazy, and you know what? I'm thinking it felt big. It got a lot of action on Twitter and social media, so I'm sure they're going to maybe do something with this in the future. Maybe a WrestleMania. You know how they like to bring in celebrity one-offs for WrestleMania. Brady's reacting to Dylan Gabriel throwing a pick six.
We're okay. We're okay, Charlie. You know what?
So we are losing to Cincinnati in the third quarter.
Stop. Don't speak about it. All right. Don't speak about it. I don't want to hear it. The other people in this match: Styles, Ziggler, Orton, Rude, Heavy Machinery, and the Miz. Like, they were all kind of there. I think this was just to get people on TV because you never know how many new eyes are coming to Fox. So let's just put a bunch of people on TV. This was their spot. And then for people that aren't even into WWE, there's Tyson Fury for you, which we're going to talk about Fox, FS1, stuff like that pretty soon. But I think they knew what they were doing catering to the Fox audience with this one. Just in case people were like, you know what, why not? There was probably people that were watching a Fox show that was on beforehand and were like, screw it. Let's watch WWE. I got nothing going on this Friday night. And let's just keep watching it. We had Eric Rowan versus Roman Reigns in a lumberjack match. Charlie, should they have saved this for Hell in a Cell, or was it right to put it on this show?
It was right. It was fun for what it was, and you know what? They made Eric Rowan look really good. He lost, sure, but he looked like a badass.
Yeah, and I think Roman winning was the right way to go. He won clean, spear. Do you think this is it for Rowan? What would you think? What would you do with Rowan moving forward?
Well, at Hell in a Cell, he's got the tag match. That's one of the 3 matches. Luke Harper and Rowan against Daniel Bryan and Roman.
Exactly. Which let's be honest, Daniel Bryan and Rowan are going to win, and Roman are going to win that match.
Yeah, I think they go back to being a tag team and maybe run a division. Tag wrestling is going to increase every week because of AEW. That's going to be the competition, and WWE's going to be forced to do something with their tag division.
That's true, because WWE wants to be seen as better in every facet. WWE obviously has the better women's division right now. Yep. They obviously have more talent on the men's side, singles men. But tags, AEW hasn't beat right now, and I think WWE does not want to be seen in that light.
Yeah, AEW's tag division is something special, but they are still... We'll talk about the Dark Order next Wednesday, but man...
Charlie, let's get to this main event. Nathan says, I'm so damn happy Brock won. Zach says, me too. Yeah,
you know what?
So
I'm with you guys.
Yeah, me too. And this is the way to go about it. And it's so funny, Charlie, 6 months ago, if we would have said that Brock Lesnar, so he came out and beat Kofi in about 6 seconds. Do we think do we think oh Jesus.
Kofi has been booked as a fantastic champion. It's not going to hurt the reign at all. I'm seeing a lot of people crying about this, that he lost so quick. And this is what their thoughts are. They're like, oh, he lost so quick. And
it was all for nothing.
UFC. That is not the case at all. This is setting up future programs, which is something they had to do tonight.
Yeah,
we had to set up programs.
And let's remember, okay, listen. Brock is the most marketable person on the roster. If a TV network was picking a guy to head their show going into this brand split, let's say theoretically it was Fox and USA going head-to-head, drafting, and Fox had pick number 1, they're picking Brock Lesnar. And if USA was picking number 2, they're picking Seth Rollins. Like, in my mind, that's the way it works, because that's how it is. So if it ends up with Seth Rollins and The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, both being on Raw and Brock heading SmackDown, and you could leave Kofi and the New Day on there, I think it's great. And if you don't want to do that, if you think that Kofi is too far gone after losing to Brock so quickly, we have a draft next week where we're going to be setting these rosters up. It's a reset button for all these guys. Like we were saying with Harper and Rowan, these guys can come out on Raw next week after getting drafted, or 2 weeks from now, and the announcers can put them over like they're huge, and they're huge again. So here's some logic. Here's something that makes no sense. Seth kicked out of an F5, but Kofi couldn't. They're basically the same guy. Charlie, rebuttal?
You know, I like to think of it as this. I know you gotta put yourself in the situation like, oh my God, it's actually happening. But I like to think of it like this. Kofi wasn't ready, whereas Seth has faced this guy 4 times. Obviously, we all know, they're actually just, whatever. But you got to put yourself in that situation. That's how they're trying to do it, and that's probably how they're going to play it off. Kofi has faced Brock at one of those random WWE Network specials, and he got his ass beat. And I'm surprised they never brought that up. But they never brought that up because Kofi has been booked so well, and he's been so different. I really don't think this is going to hurt his reign. I really think Kofi's going to go down as one of the better WWE champions, especially of the last few years. Because this guy was winning everything. Who's to say he doesn't win it back off Brock? Maybe Brock does his thing with Cain at the Royal Rumble or at Survivor Series, depending on what they want to do with this.
Yeah, and so, okay, here's the thing. All right, Cain Velasquez comes out with Rey Mysterio. You know what I think is very interesting? Everybody in the know knew that WWE had signed Cain Velasquez to a contract, but most people assumed that he'd make a big NXT debut, make a run through there, and then come out to the main roster. Mm-hmm. And then on Monday, seemingly it seemed like Brock and Rey Mysterio obviously weren't in an actual feud. No one made the Mexican connection between, and I hope that's not their stable name, Jesus, but no one made that connection of the Mexican heritage between Rey Mysterio and Cain Velasquez. I did not see people predicting this was going to happen. Did you?
Hell no. And you know what brings that? This Rey Mysterio thing's got legs. And I felt like it did after Monday. It was so good Monday. And I'm glad that they're going to go with it a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, nice. So, Fox obviously owns FS1, right? So Fox Sports 1 signed a big deal with UFC just recently, a few months ago, to have UFC, the weekly UFC events, be on Fox Sports 1 exclusively. That's a great idea for them. That's going to be one of their things. Yeah, Mike, exactly. Mike said the Mexican connection. It's going to happen now. You watch. We've got 4 people watching: Zach, Nathan, Mike, and Vince McMahon himself. That's our 4 viewers. We saw Cain Velasquez come out, noted UFC fighter. So once again, if people are flipping on, what was after Smackdown tonight? Do we know? What was the show after it?
I have no idea. I can check.
I'll look it up. So if
Fox
people
News
flip,
at 10.
hey, listen, the Fox News is really, really popular. So if people are tuning in to watch the news and they happen to see the last 5 minutes of SmackDown, like, once again, why not? I'll watch some SmackDown. If people happen to watch the carryover into the show, they get to see The Rock. And if they happen to watch the carryover from the end of the show into the next episode, they got to see Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar. That is a nice hook for casual viewers because a lot of people know who those people are. Even if they're not WWE fans, that might bring you back. And now Fox can pump up Brock and Velasquez, and they can tie that into Fox Sports 1. So if Brock does decide to fight, I mean, Charlie, how cool would it be if they had a match at WrestleMania and then, like, 2 weeks later had an actual fight?
Dude.
On a UFC card.
That'd be nuts.
That'd be awesome, right?
There's a fake post going up bound right now saying that they're having a match at Crown Jewel. I just checked before I said anything. WWE has not posted anything, so That's a fake post going around right now.
Good.
Just
I
a
hope
fair
not.
warning to anyone.
Okay, call reverse. No targeting on UCF.
So Zach Wyatt, I don't watch UFC either. However, I had heard of Cain Velasquez recently because I kind of pay attention to stuff that goes on sometimes when the bigger wrestling stories that you hear about that are
the indie scenes. So we've got name some of the other big ones, Charlie. You've got your PWGs, your AAAs, your Impact, I guess, isn't. They have a TV deal, but like your Lucha Undergrounds, things like that.
And Cain Velasquez was at Triple Mania, and he was actually in a 6-man tag match against Cody Rhodes, believe it or not. And it was his first ever wrestling match, and he stole the show. Like, it was everywhere. And I was like, oh my god. And there was a post by Meltzer. It was talking about, imagine what WWE can do with this guy, or something along those lines, or because he's a former UFC fighter and all that. And then the rumors were coming around, maybe an NXT run. So I kind of knew the name. When he walked out with Ray, I thought it was Dominic from afar. And then he rips off the shirt. And he's got a bald head, and then right away, and I'm like, oh my god, my jaw literally dropped. That entire segment, I was like standing on my feet for that last 10 minutes between the match and that.
It was good, and I mean, it was a really good job keeping it hidden. And the thing with Cain Velasquez is, now listen, does he look like he would be? He's not super shredded like Brock is, but Cain Velasquez is a bad dude.
And I mean, dude, those punches look great.
Oh, so good. The only issue is that both of them have the reputation of being a bit of a hothead. So if they were to actually start shooting on each other in the ring, like when Brock Lesnar kneed Strowman in the head, imagine if he did that to Cain and Cain actually started coming swinging back. Is there anyone in the WWE building that would be able to stop those two?
Yeah.
Like, is Fit Finley gonna run out there and jump in between those two guys? I don't think so.
The only guy I think has a chance is Matt Riddle, which I'm sure we'll see him on the main roster next week.
You're not alone. Zach thought it was Dominic too. So,
yeah. Thanks for being in the chat, guys. We appreciate it. It's fun to go back and forth.
Yeah, I definitely like having you guys in chat, and generally our channel has been more Big Brother content as been going on, but we're trying to get back. I feel like if we talk about things that we like, you guys will enjoy sitting with us. So we'll probably end up doing some football stuff eventually. We just got done with week 4, right? We could totally do a quarter poll.
Yeah, and the ideal goal is we'll try and get a weekly show talking about all the shows with us and Garrett and get all of our perspectives. And, I mean, we got Hell in a Cell coming up, and there's 3 matches announced. So we have no idea what's going on with that. I have no idea.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell is going to be thrown together, and it's going to be a little wonky, but it might end up being really good.
Like the Fiend and Seth, I'm so excited for.
Oh, agreed.
So just that alone has got me to want to watch the show.
I mean, hell, WWE does video packages so well. Why don't they just put like a 30-minute package together of The Fiend and Seth Rollins?
What do you think of Firefly Funhouse tonight?
I thought it was good. We've been spoiled by such good scenes so far. I think of everything in terms of business and a TV show and stuff like that. And so that whole time I was saying, okay, if I was a casual viewer and this is the first time that I was tuning in, would I get what Bray Wyatt is going for? And I think I would. I think I would understand. I would not look at it and be like, oh, this is childish.
I'd be like, what the hell is going on? Why do I want more?
Yeah, there are so many nuances to it. I think it's really, really good. I think Seth played it off correctly by laughing about it. I just think they did a really good job with it. So.
Sending Bray around the local morning shows is one of my favorite things.
Oh God, if you guys
haven't seen that.
I think, God, what was it? Was on like Good Morning Cincinnati or something.
Yeah.
Please go watch that clip of the interviewer gets freaked out and has to hand the mic to another dude in the studio. It's like an intern. He's like, I got to tag out. I don't have any more. Like, because he was like, oh, Bray, what's Hell in a Cell? And Bray is like, well, my friend, that's this giant structure in which we engage combat with each other. And he was like, I don't know why I'm so creeped out right now. Tag out. And then the guy that came in was like a huge wrestling fan.
I'm sure it's someone that wants something to get in there. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. So it's someone that they probably were like, okay, if I get a chance, let me ask Bray a question because I love WWE.
So I'm curious, and this goes for chat too. On a rating of 1 to 10, how would you rate Kofi Kingston's WWE Championship reign? 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Like just on a grading scale.
What are we grading it on? Like how we think he could have done up
Just
to his
anything,
potential?
whatever. How you felt about the championship reign.
Okay, well, if I'm going based on all-time championship
so, like,
reigns,
if you liked it or not, kind of. You don't have to really compare it to all of them.
I mean, I'll be honest. In 20 years, am I going to remember that Kofi Kingston had a 10-month reign or whatever it was? I probably won't. I know that's weird. I know that's weird, but it's like cool. It's cool right now. So I would say, because I know that a lot of people are going to see Kofi's win as like a huge WrestleMania moment, but I don't know.
Yep.
It was at a time in my life where like I wasn't really into wrestling, because Kofi had his reign in a time where a lot of people just didn't like the product, and that's going to hurt him in the long run. It's kind of like the CM Punk stuff. People didn't really appreciate it until after he left, because they had to look back and appreciate it. So I'm hoping Kofi's run is the same thing, where we're like, can we stop and realize how good Kofi was? You know?
Literally.
One more note on Cain Velasquez. WWE loves these UFC guys because they've already been trained in media. He will be great at cutting promos. He will know exactly what to say to all of the morning shows and things like that. Cain Velasquez is a really, really good ad, and he's raw, so WWE can turn him into one of their guys.
True. All right, so you gave it a, what was yours?
I'll give it like a 7. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. You see, I'm gonna go about a 6.5. I'll go 6.
Okay, so Zach says, I give it a 4. It was a good moment, but it went on way too long. Okay, so like he kind of overstayed his welcome as champ. Yeah, and it's one of those things. Kofi has, when you're champion for that long, playing off as the underdog eventually gets old. Nathan says 4. Bucks says 5. He never had a big, meaningful storyline. Yeah, do you think,
outside of the first one, yeah.
And Nathan agrees, says Bucks fan, you nailed it on the head. Oh, well, there's another touchdown for Cincinnati, isn't it?
It's a very upsetting game.
Yeah, this is not good. But yeah, Charlie, do you think that this was just a case of poor opponents against Kofi, or what?
To an extent, I think the Orton thing kind of definitely muddied it for some people. The Orton feud, the matches weren't good.
Yeah, which is interesting because the Orton feud I thought was interesting, but you really had to be a long-term WWE fan to appreciate that one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I always felt like they should have done him against Andrade. I feel like that was such a missed opportunity.
I would agree with that. So anyway, let us know what you guys think. We'll probably switch to a weekly show format at some point. Not sure what night it will be. Maybe just we might record Friday night and upload during the weekend sometime. But you guys let us know, Saturdays, Sundays, what days are you guys feeling? Because we'll have to see what Garrett's work schedule ends up being like. And some Saturdays I'm super busy, but I could probably end up doing Friday nights.
Yeah,
so anyway,
figure it out.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the bell so you know when we go live. Until next time, guys, go UCF, beat Cincinnati. It's gonna be a struggle. See ya.